Stay Deadly says Bill Thunks. When roast beef ends, another begins. Oh, don't you guys are gonna break sticks. The interesting thing to talk about on these betting markets, predicted there's 33.7 million shares. If you look at Polymarket, there's almost 600 million, and it's much closer. It's 52 to 46. And by the way, people bet to make money. So they're taking a chance. People bet with their hearts. It's the same thing. Let's talk about.
Now, can I ask you one thing?
Yes.
With these betting markets and stuff like that, can you actually literally lay down bets on the internet?
Yes.
I didn't know that was illegal.
It's because they only take crypto.
Oh.
So they take crypto.
Is it still, so it's semi-legal, or?
I don't know that answer. But yes, it's real money in the form of cryptocurrency that is being bet. And you can,
considering betting on Donald Trump.
Yeah, I don't have any crypto, but if I did, I would probably do it. But I don't know. I don't know how this actually works, and I just think
I've never used such a site.
For me. Yeah, I don't recommend people gamble. In general, I don't hate you if you do.
If you're putting a quarter into a slot machine, then it's one thing. But
yeah, if you do gamble, don't gamble more than you can afford to lose.
Mm-hmm.
If you do believe that there's any chance at all that Kamala Harris wins the election, things are about to get worse. And even if Trump wins, things are about to get worse. The housing market bubble will burst in the next 3 to 4 years, regardless of who's president.
I think basically it's a choice between, does the plane land, but it's a bumpy landing with Trump,
right.
or does it just smash into the goddamn tarmac with Kamala?
Yeah. The Trump.
I think those, unfortunately, landing. Those are our choices.
Yeah, Trump is definitely our softer landing.
It's still going to be unpleasant, but it'll be less unpleasant.
I think Styx, I think you did an excellent video this morning on polls. And again, we talk about the reason I usually have a daily segment with Styx about polls is because he's well versed in them. He's been covering them much longer than me. And there's an important point usually to be made about them. What I've been trying to undoom people with is that there are more polls now than ever before. The reason for that is polls are content. There are polls that I have never heard of before that are getting put out, and then there's entire news cycles run around them. I predicted that you would have headlines nonstop of shock, new poll, shows unlikely result among this. That's all these things are for. If you open up dailymail.co.uk or the New York Post, there is a new article every single day with a headline that is almost exactly that. Shocking new poll data shows that young voters are leaning towards this candidate. Click to know more. And they're just pulling it out of this. They're just pulling it out of all these. They're not these polls.
And then it's several paragraphs down usually.
Right. And they don't even look. If you look at CNBC, you look what kind of oversampling is happening. And Styx brought up a really good point. You have to go all the way to the bottom of these articles.
Yes, see, lie by structure.
Right. You go all the way down, and now you see, okay, well, they oversampled women. And one of them was non-binary. So we know that's a Kamala voter. So you oversampled women, not much, but enough. Okay.
You're schooling the audience here. People need to know this. Your mind is literally being fooled with.
Yeah, you have to look in to the actual poll. So they've oversampled women by 4 points, or likely Democrat voters. Then you look at, they have also oversampled people who are 65 and older. They have a majority, so this is leaning to 65 and older. They are
And they've
undersampling.
oversampled the very, very young and
Gen
the very,
Z.
very old.
Right.
Now, these two groups lean left. Everyone
Correct.
in the middle, the millennials and Gen Z, tend to lean right at this point.
There's a reason.
Even some of the Zoomers do.
Yes, and this is right here. Styx and I are pulling back the curtain and on the Wizard of Oz.
Can I please add? We'll just ask people the question: why do you think they did that?
Right.
There had to be a reason. Otherwise, they wouldn't have gone with that data. Now, would they?
There is the famous line. There are lies, there are damn lies, and then there are statistics.
Mm-hmm.
You can sub in polls for statistics. They have undersampled Trump voters, and they have oversampled Democrats, and Trump still won. Just think about that. Trump still was plus
this is
2.
a no black pill zone.
Correct. And they have also oversampled ultra high educated people, which tend to lean which way, Styxhexenhammer?
I don't know. When you're overeducated but underintelligent, tend to lean liberal.
That's correct. So they have 40 members out of 100 with a 4-year or a master's degree. And you know how many vocational people they've taken? 4. You know what a vocational school are? Your HVAC guys, your plumbers,
your highly skilled people that actually get something done.
And who do they vote for, Styxhexenhammer?
Typically Republican.
That's correct.
Or libertarian.
Or libertarian. They vote Republican or libertarian. Plumbers who are these people.
You think they want to pay a fucking 60% tax rate?
No, they don't. and this group also trends higher than normal on entrepreneurial skills and entrepreneurs. Plumbers run their own businesses. Electricians run their own businesses.
These are the people that are going to get screwed the most under if you had a Harris presidency. They're going to get fucked so hard.
You have to go, and then you look at the race breakdown. This actually looks okay. 70% white.
That's actually a little bit more white than the.
Yeah.
Well, that probably includes white Hispanics. So.
No, it doesn't. 24% includes black or Hispanic. Oh. That's a little oversimplified, but I don't have a huge problem with
so underrepresented.
One Asian. Yeah. And who do Asians vote for?
Depends on the subgroup.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Asians are very complex. They're
if they're Japanese or Korean extraction, they're probably voting for Trump.
Yep.
Considering all the anime about him.
If they're Asians and they left a communist country, they're voting for Trump. If they're, Asians in San Francisco, they're probably voting for whatever. But like I just mean like, oh, and by the way,
the demographic data is all screwy. I try to tell people this is like, look into the raw numbers and you'll see exactly why you shouldn't really fucking care about the polls.
Yeah, the polls are, you had 27 retirees and 28 white collar workers, Democrats. You know how many farmers they interviewed, Styx?
How many farmers are on there?
1.
Only 1 farmer?
Guess who farmers vote for almost 100% of the time?
Well, if he was farming weed, then,
Yeah. Farmers vote for Trump. Every single farmer I know, and I know a lot of them because my brother-in-law is a farmer and his family's farmers, and everybody in my sister's extended family are farmers, and they are all Catholics, and they are all Trump supporters.
I mean, why would you? Yeah, exactly. When your land on paper, at least, is worth millions of dollars, you want a Democrat administration that's going to literally rob you of your land by doing what they did in the Netherlands and try to confiscate it.
Here's another piece of information. They oversimplified hourly wages. 50 out of the 100 were hourly, and 40 of them were salaried. So you look at this stuff.
That's so lopsided.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean, at least they present their data.
Yeah,
Some polling firms, they don't even really make it public, it seems.
So what we're trying to say, and what I highly recommend you watch Styxhexenhammer's video earlier today that he put out on polls, because if you want to get worked up about polls, we will allow it if you do the extra step that we just did. It took 5 minutes to realize that this poll was heavily weighted against Trump, and he still won. So Trump is probably up 3 or 4 or maybe 5.
I think he's, if I had to take a best guess, I'd say he's up by 2. Yeah. And I would say he's up in 4 of the competitive states plus Virginia, which gets him the election.
Yeah.
That's my best guess at this point. But keep in mind, I mean, we've got a couple of months till the election, so it could change.
I think my surprise pick for him to flip is Minnesota. I think Minnesota's still in play.
We're gonna have to make a gentlemanly bet. We'll make a penny bet on this. I think it's Virginia.
Okay. All right.
I bet $5 on Virginia over Minnesota.
Virginia. What do we have? That's not even considered a battleground state. That's interesting.
I consider it a battleground state.
Let's see.
I think it's Virginia over Minnesota. I think Minnesota goes blue.
I don't think we have any new polling there.
Unfortunately, no.
But this is a state that Trump's support stayed the same, 44.4.
He's got the superior military VP.
True.
He was close in the last polling that we got, and I think that he's going to target it. I think that he gets Virginia, but he loses Minnesota.
Well,
that's my current bet. I'll bet you $5.
All right, I accept your bet, but I actually hope you win. Except Virginia is worth a lot more electoral votes. 18, I think. Right?
Yeah, I think he gets Virginia. I think if he's smart, he's going to send JD there over and over again and just pound that state.
Yeah, if he sends JD there a lot, I think that would be great. I think ultimately, boy, I mean, if he wins either of them, he wins the election. Probably.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
If he grabs Minnesota, he can't help but win the other Rust Belt states. That gets him in. And if he wins Virginia, my God. I think I'm a little bit more optimistic, I think, than you, in that I think that he's going to expand the battleground map beyond 2016 by at least a state.